Well, it's Tuesday, the 11th of October 2022, and that means it's the weekly reset in Destiny 2 where the content rotates. The vendors and the challenges reset, and we got a chance for new content to be added into the game. Well, stay tuned for info related to the finale of Season of Plunder. Plus, we got Nightfall info for the week, seasonal challenges, Banshee's weekly weapons, and also what is in the Eververse store this week. Well, if you're new around here or find this useful, don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below for all the latest Destiny 2 content and turn on notifications by hitting that bell. And roughly 98% of viewers who watch This Week in Video Games aren't subscribed, so subscribe today and never miss an update. Well, let's check out the weekly reset items for the week. Well, first of all, this week we've got new story content. That's week 8, and that means it's the conclusion of the main story in Season of Plunder, so we're going to get the final bits of sales of the ship stealer and that quest. Although it's not the conclusion to the whole story, I do believe we are getting a community event and another quest later on in the season. I think that one is going to be after Festival of the Lost, and of course that kicks off next Tuesday. Looking at Nightfall information for the week, so we've got the Light Blade, and also Mindbender's Ambition is back. That means it's the Grandmaster Nightfall as well, and if you do a Grandmaster version, you will get an Adept version of the Mindbender's Ambition. Also, big news in Crucible this week, Rift is back as the rotating playlist, and also Trials of Osiris is going to be back at the weekend. That's going to be available from Friday until the reset on Tuesday, so a really good opportunity to get that bow and also the new shotgun too. Well, next up, let's have a look at the seasonal challenges for week 8. So we've got Antiquarian 8, return the 8th relic to the helm, also defeat champions across the system. Champions defeated in Catch, Crash and Expedition will award bonus progress. We've got Sextant Navigation 2, collect map fragments and treasure coordinates throughout the season. Map fragments can be attained by completing Catch, Crash. Treasure coordinates can be acquired from ritual activities. Then we got Barrage, so defeating champions and bosses in Catch, Crash. Then we got Pinnacle, so reach level 1580 by earning Pinnacle rewards. We've got Hold the Trigger, so calibrate machine guns, scout rifles and sidearms. Rapidly defeating combatants and defeating guardians will award bonus progress. Finally, Intended Mischief, acquire the Gambit ornament for Crime Mutiny. Well, next up, let's have a look at the Witch Queen reset items over on Savathun's Throne World. We've got the weekly mission, was a great source of Ascendant Alloy, also Pinnacle gear there as well if you get a 100k score. We've got the Wellspring, Defend, another good source of Pinnacle gear. Vox Obscura, again, good source of Pinnacle gear. We have the Preservation mission, again, good source of Pinnacle gear, all 4 if you're leveling up for GMs. And next, let's have a look at the raids, starting off with the Vow of the Disciple. The challenge this week is base information. Have a look at the rest of the raids now. So we've got in the Legends tab, we've got the Vault of Glass. This week's challenge is Ensemble's Refrain. And then we've got the King's Fall 2. Challenge here is Under Construction. Go on over to the Moon and look at the Garden of Salvation. This week's challenge is a Link to the Chain. Heading on over to the Dreaming City. The Last Wish raid. Challenge here is Keep Out. That leaves one more raid over on Europa, and that is the Deepstone Crypt. As you can see, that is the featured raid for the week. A really good opportunity to jump in, get all that really good loot. In terms of the featured dungeon for the week, for this one you want to head on over to the Cosmodrome and go for the Grasp of Avarice. Again, that's going to be a really good source of Pinnacle gear. Well, next up, let's have a look at the playlists and the Pinnacles for the week, starting out with the Vanguard. As I mentioned before, the Nightfall for the week is Light Blade. Raise that middle bar up there to 100%, you get a powerful tier 1 drop, and do 100k Nightfall, you will get some Pinnacle gear. The weapon this week is Mindbender's Ambition, And of course, if you jump into Grandmaster Nightfalls, you're going to be able to get an adept version of the Mindbender's Ambition, so good luck if you're doing that. In terms of Vanguard ops for the week, looks like we've got a Void Singe, so put on your Void subclass, do 3 Vanguard ops, and you will get some pinnacle gear. Let's head on over to Crucible. So as mentioned, the rotating playlist is Rift. So if you enjoyed Rift in Iron Banner last season, now is a really good time to jump in once again. Do 3 matches of Control and you will get some pinnacle gear. And also you've got Crucible Labs 2 to jump in and try out Crucible Labs. And Trials of Osiris will be back at the weekend. You have to wait until Friday until you can jump back into that. Also, I do believe you've got double Crucible ranks this week, so if you like Crucible, it's a really good chance to jump in. Next up, we've got Gambit. Do 3 matches in regular or freelance, and you will get some pinnacle gear. Well, we are in the tower, as always, at reset on Tuesday about this time. Reporting on everything that's going on in the game. Let's have a look at Banshee's weekly weapons. First of all then, we've got Legal Action 2. That one comes with Feeding Frenzy and Rampage. We've got the Boudica C, Pugilist and Osmosis. That is not too bad at all. We've got the Ogmar PR6, Stats for All and Wellspring. Again, not too bad. We've got the Galu RR3, that's Heating Up and Golden Tricorn. We've got the Palmyra B, that's Ambitious Assassin and Chain Reaction. That is a very good roll and also a good stasis weapon for stasis builds. And finally, we have the Taipan 4 FR. We've got Triple Tap and Frenzy. Again, so close to being a god roll. Ideally, we want Triple Tap and Firing Line. You never know, the roll might change later on in the week. In terms of good rolls then, I think the 2 heavy weapons here, so Palmyra B and Taipan 4 FR, do pretty good rolls from Banshee 44 this week. Well, thank you to Banshee, but next up let's head on over to the Eververse store and see what Tess has for us for Bright Dust. First of all, we've got the Jacarina shader. Pretty good. My Hive theme gear there. We've got Catch Flight Entrance. Pretty cool. Got the Tethys shell. Pretty sweet. Got Tron. We've got Spherical Ruminations. Nice indeed. Let's have a look at the rest of the Bright Dust items then. We've got the Stasis Projection. We have the Pseudoscience. That is an ornament for Wave Splitter. Very nice indeed. We've got the Painted Kitsune Bond. There's the Fortnite set, of course. I don't think I have that for my Warlock, so I think I'm going to pick those up. We've got Saint's Vocation. That is a very nice exotic ship. We've got Skiff Scribble's Shell. Bit of a tongue twister. Look at that one. Pretty Fallen themed. We've got the fancy Hat Roll. Oh yes. A Gentleman. And we got Take a Seat. That is very good. Very sinister. We've got Twin Snake Effects. If you like Gambit, that is the one for you. We've got Reef Awoken. Pretty sweet. We've got the Traveller's Wake Effects. Wow. We have the Wayfarer's Guise. Look at that. Like it. Got Copper Brand. Not quite as garish as the last one. We've got Chitin Slate. Finally, we got the Amethyst Veil. That one is very, very nice indeed. And that is everything in the Eververse store this week. Well, that is it for this week's weekly reset in Destiny 2, and I think the big news this week is the final piece of the story this week, so good luck jumping into the story, and I hope you enjoy that mid-season conclusion. As I said, I do think we are going to be back after Festival of the Lost, potentially for a community event, although nothing has been said by Bungie just yet. And of course, we've got Festival of the Lost to look forward to next week. That's going to be a really, really good time in Destiny 2. We do have the Lightblade Grandmaster Nightfall, or the regular Nightfall, to jump into this week, and that means, of course, the Mindbender's Ambition shotgun is available once again. It's really, really going to be interesting to see the Adept version of that shotgun getting out there in the wild. Well, as always, thank you so much for watching, and whatever you get up to in Destiny 2 this week, I hope you have a really, really good time. Let me know down in the comments what you're planning on doing. Well, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you really, really soon.